Dance with me, mama. If you don't dance, then I'll turn back into a baby boy. Beautiful.
Did you hear that? That hurt
Yeah, the
your
head.
ears?
Yeah, well, no, it didn't hurt.
But you heard it?
I worked around airplanes for 9 years. I'm fine.
Hi,
Screaming in my ear.
guys. How are you? So we're here on a new episode of the Aaron and John show.
Welcome back, Aaron and John heads.
What's up? How are you guys? Are you guys rocking hard?
Get hard.
Yeah.
Y'all watching
Are you
High
guys-
School Musical?
Yeah, are you guys rock hard right now?
Are you fucking hard as shit, John? Show 'em your boner, baby. Brrrr-boo. Yeah, we're always hard, but on the inside.
We're inside. We're soft. We're pretty soft on the inside. We're like Jello.
Mushy little
We're a little mushy,
emotional little babies,
beings.
little cogs in the wheel of love.
Yeah, we're over here just trying to find what it means to have a meaning.
What it means
truth.
to have.
Yeah.
Have you ever truly had something and
I don't
thought,
think so.
this is mine for forever?
No. Never.
It's-
You?
No.
No.
My cat died.
You had a cat. Didn't you? Oh, you're still that cat. Bitsy?
Bitsy, yeah, Tazzy.
Oh,
No, it's fine. I knew
close.
she would die. If I died before her, that would be embarrassing for me.
like, oh,
Jesus
man.
Christ. What a nightmare.
Be like how Kobe Bryant probably feels.
Oh, man.
Too soon?
Yeah, that's why he took his daughter with him. What?
I'm glad you added on to that.
I
But-
have to.
We're here, guys, on another episode 25. I'm John.
I'm Aaron.
This is Aaron, who you might know from his most recent discovery. Didn't you just recently discover that the capsules, the ice capsules that had to do with Antarctica?
Mm-hmm.
What was that? You haven't gone completely public, but you're breaking news here with it.
Yeah, well, the capsules in Antarctica are they're made out of ice, right?
Right. Yes.
And with global warming, they're slowly melting. So now, they're tiny, they're like pill size now. So you can take them, and if you take them, you will go into a cryogenic sleep
Okay.
for depends on the size of the pill. So if you could take a big one, if you take like a horse-sized pill,
Right.
you're in for quite a while. And then you'll wake up. It's kind of like the super soldier thing with Captain America
Right.
in the
Okay.
Avengers,
Yeah.
where he was frozen in the ice caps for 70 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to that, except this is you're willing to do it for science
Oh,
experiments.
okay.
So what we'll do once you're fully cryogenically frozen,
Okay.
your blood will stop pumping.
Oh.
It's kind of like what cold-blooded animals do when they freeze. So like if a frozen lizard will thaw out basically.
Right. Yeah.
What these capsules do is it turns you into a cold-blooded animal, which does not in any way hurt the person
Surprisingly, right? Or it was
after
this
you wake up.
Okay.
So during it, you are wrecked. Absolutely.
Okay.
Just fucked
All right.
completely.
That
And
makes
that's the point of the experiments, to keep you alive.
Okay. So that's what you guys are trying to discover.
Yeah. Well, the selling point is, what do you have to lose?
True.
You're going to swallow it, right?
Mhm.
You're going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't wake up, you won't even notice.
True.
So you'll be dead.
So then, what's your target grouping that you'd want, or are you doing different age?
You would think that we'd prefer old people, but we want young people.
Okay.
We want like 5-year-olds.
Like LeBron James kind
Younger.
of people. Younger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they don't necessarily have to be rich. There's a ton of these things, and they're pretty cheap. So we could administer them to, as many people as possible, honestly.
So once you take it, is it like an immediate thing that you just kind of like gradually fall asleep within that same day?
It takes a little bit of time. It's kind of like hypothermia.
Oh, okay.
It's just a really slow hypothermia.
Okay, so once you take it, it's one of those things that you should probably like lay down and start getting ready.
Yeah, don't panic.
Don't panic, because
Don't panic. If you
Why?
panic, you'll die.
Automatic.
You'll have a heart attack.
Just straight off the bat.
It's like that. And then we can't do anything to you. Then we just toss you in you're going to be frozen regardless, I guess, because
True.
the pill still works.
Polar bears, right?
Yeah. The pill still works whether you're dead or not.
Right.
So we'll still do shit to you. But you're not going to wake up and then you're not going to learn what we did. That's the fun part.
So what is that, like, what's in the range of, like, the percentage that could possibly...
Survivability rate?
Yeah.
I would say single digits. But we also, a main demographic is stupid people.
Okay.
Because when we say single digits, they don't know what that means. They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
they
10,
just-
9 out of 10 is pretty good.
Digit has words in it, a bunch of different letters.
Digit has words in it.
Yeah.
That's what they call letters. Short words. So yeah, we'll be administering these kind of on the side of where they'll be giving out the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like as an add-on, like when you order like an album online or something, they send you like a sticker. It's kind of like that. We're the sticker of the public health domain. So, stop by. If you obviously it's kind of bleak out there right now, it's even without COVID, it was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just want to hang out for 70, 200 years, whatever, just hit us up.
Nice. And then what's the website that they can find you on?
Ice capsules. Capsuls, so SOULS, because you're probably gonna die. you're probably gonna die. But yeah, they're basically free. Honestly, it's just like this is purely out of boredom.
Okay.
To see if it does anything. It's gonna be cool. It's
So-
gonna be cool.
And then you're hoping to possibly win the Nobel Peace Prize from this?
Sure. Well, after we freeze them, we're gonna send them to Mars.
Oh.
Yeah, and then just see what happens.
Okay.
Because they're not gonna be like wrapped or anything. They're just gonna be
Bye.
dispersed. So, if you want to get your grandparent like a birthday present, don't give this to her. But if you're a grandparent and you want to give your grandchild a birthday present, perfect. It's cheap and you don't have to worry about your grandkid anymore.
Fun.
Icecapsouls.com.
Icecapsouls.com.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So, Aaron, how you been?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Anything new?
Started my job at the grocery store.
Woo! Aaron's got a job.
Aaron's got a job. Aaron's got a little get me over. I visited my grandpa the other day because I've been keeping my distance because of he's old and COVID. And also my uncle lives with him now because my grandma went to the nursing home because her body's like falling apart.
No.
She's got like so many shoulder problems she used to farm, so she's like her body's just wrecked. Her brain's still there, which is dope. So if your body's the first thing to give out before your brain, just let it happen. So I went to hang out with my grandpa, who I've really not talked to that much in my life, really. Like pretty quiet, like farmer guy, keeps to himself. Like we would work.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. We wouldn't talk or anything. And we just fucking just let it rip. He hates Trump.
Ooh,
Which
really?
is like, because I'd forgotten about it, because my dad is like a Trump guy, right? And even he and my dad talked about it, because I went to his house before I went to my grandparents, and my dad had some concessions about Trump too, which was like kind of cool. It's like, inches and centimeters, but they were something. But I went to my grandpa's and he started talking about like the insurrection that happened last week, the sin erection.
Yeah.
And that's what God called it when he knocked up Mary. And he was like, I'm just so fucking tired of these assholes. Like he was just cut because my grandma doesn't live there, so he could just cuss all the fucking time he wants, which is pretty funny. He's like 87, has cancer, has like a fucking has a pacemaker. He still like fucking goes and chops wood and mows he's got a farm that he mows and does all this shit. He's never gonna die, basically. And he's just like cool as shit. And he was like, yeah, these guys are fucking nuts and your dad is insane. I was like, I know, this is amazing.
Dad's insane.
I'd forgotten about this part of my grandpa because years ago when Obama was still in office, I vaguely heard my mom mention, yeah, your dad's mad at your grandpa because your grandpa said he liked Obama. And my dad probably just didn't like that because my dad probably doesn't like black people. But who am I to know? I'm not going to ask him, like, hey, Dad, are you racist? Well, I probably should. That's probably not a bad idea.
It's not a good question to ask. It's not worth it. Is it worth it at this point?
No, I mean, just talking to him about Trump in general and then refuting some of the stuff was enough. It's like, oh, my God, I can't. Why? It's like arguing with a wall.
It's hard when people are still at this point still behind him.
Yeah.
How at this point? At this point, how
crazy.
can you still be behind? Dude, not even any of the Congress people are behind him.
None. Well, all the Republicans are.
Well, you know this,
not all of them, but a lot of them.
They voted today to
They
impeach
him.
Again.
The House impeached him.
Again.
Yeah, twice. It's like throwing 2 no-hitters in a row.
Should there be like a rule? Like if you get impeached twice,
there should.
It's an automatic. You're out.
There should be a rule.
Like how is there not? How is there not? How have they not find?
But see, like on our side, we see it as like this guy's clearly fucked up and has fucked up a lot and ruined a lot of lives.
But constitutionally, like has he? Yeah.
But on the other side, they see it as a witch hunt.
Yeah.
So you're never going to get both sides to like ratify that into a rule because they're going to say like, well, if you just don't like somebody, you're going to get 200 of your friends to say you don't like him either.
Twice. Yeah.
That's why it has to go through both the House and the Senate before it gets ratified. But it was really refreshing to hear my grandpa talk shit on Trump and my dad for like an hour. It's dope. And he's got cats that live there because my uncle's a cat guy. And one of them's blind. And boy, did he run into some stuff. It's pretty funny. It didn't meow. He just like kind of bumped into it and was like, and then he like scuttled away. Adorable. More
Black
blind cats.
Is it a black cat?
No. Yeah, what was he? He was like half white, half like brown kind of streaks and shit. But yeah, that was a pleasant shit talking moment for me. I had a good time.
So talking about what happened, because we didn't talk about it last week on our podcast.
Yeah.
Because surprisingly, we can have other things to talk about. It's weird, right? It's
well, and
weird.
that's one of the things I told my grandpa was like, what really bothers me, and I'm saying this as a fucking straight white guy with no real worries in the world. What really bothers me about Trump is that he made me like pay attention to politics.
Right.
To care at all. Because like when Obama was in, I didn't even like have an opinion on Obama. I liked some of the shit he did that I heard about, like gays getting married and upholding like abortion and everything else. But I didn't. It was like, okay, my life wasn't affected.
Right.
But like now, like my friends are affected by all this shit. Like
it's polarizing.
It is,
so
and you have
polarizing.
to keep up with it because otherwise you're not helping at all.
No.
And I want to help, but I also don't want to but I want my head in the clouds 24/7.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's fun. I want to think about jokes all the time. I love jokes. Why can't I just think about jokes all the time?
Right.
Because of this fucking asshole and his garbage, idiot people following him with guns into the fucking Capitol building. It's crazy.
Yeah, what was your thoughts when you saw it and you heard about it?
Well,
I guess like what were you doing? Like, would you get the alert or did you hear from somebody?
I had seen. So it happened during the day, obviously,
Yeah.
and I think I had done a couple of my other podcasts, and we were just kind of in our own little chamber thing, not paying attention to shit. And then I feel like I went to Weston and like saw my mom. And the only thing she watches on TV is those music channels that just play like 70s country music or, like on the like the 4000s or whatever. She just listens to modern country all the time. Which is cool. Yeah, she loves that shit.
It's so.
She's old. She doesn't have a fucking phone with a. She's learned how to use her phone, which is impressive. But she doesn't have music on it. She doesn't know what the fuck to do with a computer or anything. So she just blasts that shit all the time and just like fucks around. She has her own cool life, which I respect too. She's got her head in the clouds all the time, and it is so cool. I love that woman. But yeah, I was just fucking around. I think I went to the store and my main source of news is Twitter, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but I get a lot of decent like stuff. It's all the sources at once. And I kind of saw stuff, but I was also driving, so I didn't try not to pay attention to it. And then I got back to the apartment and Joe and Mitchell were watching it Joe had turned it to Fox News to see what they were saying about it. And yeah, I just saw a bunch of people like storming into shit, and then I kept up with it throughout the day. I was like, this is fucking nuts. But like, also I wasn't surprised at all Because, like, I don't know, man. Like, that's what they had been fed all summer with the BLM marches and protests. That's what they were told was happening at those protests, was that we were breaking shit and killing, like, with weapons and all this shit.
Right.
And they weren't. There were a couple of, like, isolated instances.
Of targets.
Yeah.
And,
of, like, people who were just shitty.
Yeah.
It's not, they weren't the whole.
Mm-mm.
But you've got this whole fucking army of people
that had one goal, and the one goal. It wasn't that when the Black Lives Matters moment, like we were going up and down streets, like saying like Black Lives Matter. It was a different thing. Yeah,
quit killing black people.
But their whole thing was we're going to go to the Capitol building and we're going to fuck it up.
Because our sore loser president told us that it's okay.
Yeah.
That was it. All they needed, and
it's not the same.
It's not the same because
ours
was like just. But that's the thing too, is that like on the other side of it, they see it as like an injustice because they think the fucking election was rigged. Not all of them. Not all the Republicans think that, but the diehard Trump cultists. Mm-hmm. My grandpa called them cultists. Love him.
That's why I called them all that. When I did my solo podcast, like at this point, what else are they? What else is it?
I mean, they're just following blindly.
All you did was see people with Trump flags or Confederate flags. There was nothing else. There wasn't. You didn't see any American flags like waving it high and being like,
or
"This is about America."
Don't tread on me or whatever.
Yeah,
I saw one. So some of them they would
American
would
flags
buy.
might have been a good example.
Huh?
American flags might not have been a good example.
There were, but man, I bet there was as many Trump flags.
Yeah,
but I saw one. So they would print out their state flags and put on the flag like. North Carolina for Trump or whatever.
Right.
There was one. Somebody clearly just Googled Georgia flag, and they printed out the country of Georgia. It's like this thing with like old like Russian monarchy like insignias and shit on it, and it looks really like medieval. It just says Georgia for Trump. Like, who? Where?
Let's look this up.
But yeah, dude, it's like, and then there were Congress, there were like Trump Congress people tweeting out where Pelosi was and where other like liberal Congress people were. And like, why would you do that? You're basically just telling them fucking where to go with your weapons and how to kill them.
Right. It's
fucking insane.
But yeah, it was really gross.
It was really unbecoming. It's just like so embarrassing.
Yeah, because you wouldn't think. It's just you wouldn't think that these are the ones that are always talking about how brown people are the ones that are hooligans and always breaking stuff and always ruining everything. But like, you were going to one of the staples of the United States, if not one of the world.
Yeah.
And you're going in there just with the idea of like, let's just fuck things up and take stuff.
It's one thing if you go to like the state capitol in Michigan, like they did in March or whatever.
Yeah, it's the state capitol.
And like brought their guns and were like bitched about masks, and they actually protested. They did it with guns for some stupid fucking reason, but they protested. They didn't shoot anybody.
Right.
Wasn't violent. Didn't get crazy. But yeah, they go to Washington D.C. on like Capitol Hill.
Climb the wall.
Yeah. It's nuts, dude.
It was funny though. Like they did. It's like, oh, climbing walls, huh?
Yeah.
We're...
Yeah, that hindsight, that wall really happened, huh?
Yeah.
So he did so much. But like that's also back to your point, like these people think that like ethnic people are the ones that are doing all the crimes. Ask any of like the people who are racist that you know or I know, and ask them like, what color was the person who fucked your life up the most? 99% of the people that we know from like up north they're not that many that I know of that are racist.
Right.
But their lives were never even affected by a black person, a Hispanic person, Asian person, anybody.
Right.
None.
Just white people.
Yeah. They've just been fucking told to like believe that anybody different is
that's a funny thing. Like it's
wrong.
It's funny because like you hate a group of people that you've never met before. It's like some of these people have never met a black person. Have never met like how can you hate this person you've never met? It'd be different if you met him and you don't like him then. That makes
Sure.
sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
on a personal level.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about just straight like mathematical equations.
Because they're a bad person.
Yeah.
There are bad black people. There are bad white people. There's bad
every
type of person.
Yeah.
But you don't hate everyone because that one person was bad.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It's funny to me.
It's crazy.
What's funny is like we have some interesting people that are like close to our age that are just super hardcore, still Trump people now.
Yeah.
And like they're super hardcore anti-vaccine.
Which ones have you seen?
Mostly the one that the one that had his father passed away.
Is he your friend?
The one you know who I'm talking about, right? The cop that passed away. You know the one he drowned?
Oh, yeah.
His son?
Yeah.
One of his sons?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The one that's not being the dog.
Yeah, they have a Trump flag in their yard, too.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, I drive by it to get to my grandparents' house. Or they did. I don't know if they still do.
Serious?
Yeah, of course they do.
I don't know why I'm shocked by that.
It's 1 degree of separation from being a fucking MAGA guy to thinking that vaccinations are bad. It takes as much cognitive dissonance to think either of those things are right.
Yeah.
It's the same level of stupidity, and like they can't filter out like these things. I was telling my dad that it's like you can't just believe like every fucking thing that vaguely, looks like something else you believe in, just because like I feel like. So like when we were raised, like a quote that a lot of people said was like question everything, don't fucking don't do your research basically. Yeah. But these people have like taken it so far that they can't filter factual and fiction research.
Yeah, because they go on the internet, and you can find anything that will it's pro your thing that you believe. And that's all it takes is one small little nugget. Like, well, this thing is exactly what I thought, and then it has to be right.
That's why they're trying to like take down Facebook with that shit, because like if you get on like a mommy blog on Facebook, like some kind of just like, hey, newborn moms, whatever, I'm such and such, their suggested video or pages that pop up, half the time they have something to do with anti-vax.
Right.
And then those 2 fucking pages away from that, the anti-vax pages are QAnon pages. And that all leads back to Trump shit.
Right.
Facebook, the algorithm's fucked up anyway, but like, but that's what those people are looking up, and that's why it's like the suggested trend, like the suggested things you buy on Amazon.
Right.
It says, oh, you bought this book. Well, some other people have bought this book and then bought this other stuff. Would you be interested in buying this other stuff? It's the same kind of thing.
What has been interesting though, I followed this account on Instagram called Shithead Steve, and it's just a meme.
Yeah.
A meme page. Anyway, so they posted this thing where it said, like, it had a picture of that Trump guy who was wearing the horns and the face masks and everything like that, and then it had like a picture of one of the Simpsons character, and it said like they called it. Yeah, they called it.
Yeah.
And but on the bottom of it said like how it had like, this is not real, and it led you to a website saying like, this is what happened, like someone photoshopped this picture with this and made it, so it
led to the source of it or whatever.
Which is like, it's a good thing to have. Sure. Like, I'm like, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, but it's also kind of shitty that we've gotten to this point that we have to do this. We have to numb it down and spoon feed it.
Not enough people can think for themselves.
Yeah.
And
they can't look at it
tell
and just laugh.
whether or not something is, well, that too is like too many people take shit too seriously. Did you hear about that guy? That they caught the guy with the horns?
Yeah, he was living with his mom. He's 32.
Well, yeah, but his prison, he wouldn't eat.
Oh, because it didn't have gourmet.
Because it wasn't organic.
Yeah, organic.
Because eventually they fed him because they have to meet like your religious restrictions on eating or whatever for like kosher and halal and all that stuff. But apparently he's a shaman. So they have to feed him organic food.
Wow.
That's so fucking stupid.
It's so dumb.
There was another guy who went there, and he was completely like blacked out. His face was covered, everything was covered. He did it the right way. He wasn't gonna get caught, but he went there with his mom, who didn't have a mask on, and they figured out who he was really quickly because they looked her up.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, that looks like her son. And well, it was.
Wow.
Crazy. Did you see the thing they did on Parler too before it got basically taken down from everywhere?
Mm-mm.
They an account posted on Parler, hey, if you were at the riots, leave your name and then what you did specifically, leave details or whatever. Tell us everything that you did, because Trump on his last day in office is going to pardon everybody. So it incriminates all of these people. Because like the FBI just infiltrated Parler,
It's
and
like,
now they're catching all these
right,
people.
well,
yeah,
thank you.
That's how that shit works though. Like that's how those people ended up at the fucking Capitol. Is they just like, oh yeah, this is something that I'm interested in. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna do what they tell me to do. It's the same fucking thing. They're using their tactics against them.
Wow.
And now they're just catching these people every day. They're kicking them off planes. They're fucking getting fired for it. Mm-hmm. Everything. It's so cool.
Kind of a good idea that you told me, because I even asked you. I was like, "Hey, Aaron, you want to go to the Capitol building that day?"
And yeah,
you're
just
like,
for shits and giggles.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, like, hey, John, what's wrong? Like, I know it's COVID. Just wear your mask. And I'm like, well, Aaron, I don't know what's a good idea. You're
you were right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you called it. Like,
I'm like, I don't know. It might be a good.
I got a bad feeling about this. You put your ear to the ground. You heard the footsteps.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, like if somebody like actually had to walk there or whatever. But I thought for some reason I thought it would be really funny if like for the Winter Olympics they made the skiers ski to the Olympics, like from wherever they are. Like, you think you're so good at skiing?
I remember, this is how fucking dumb I am. I remember in like, was it middle school? Might have been middle school or like 5th or 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I heard cross country. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like cross country. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, are they on skis and stuff like that? Like, I'm like, how are they on skis when like there's no snow? And I'm like, I'm so glad I never asked anyone. Like, I'm like, what does that mean? And then,
There's no such thing as a stupid question, John. Just stupid
yeah,
answers.
I think there is.
I've got a cross-country skiing joke. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it. Cross-country skiing was probably way easier when there were only 13 states. Classic. God, it's good.
It's a good one. Do you know?
Good at jokes.
Do you know the? Do you know what the difference between a boomerang and an orphan is? Or
oh, back to orphan jokes? Yeah. No, John, tell me.
A boomerang will come back to you. Or
an orphan's parents.
Yeah, an orphan's
I
parents.
guess you can say these because you were an orphan.
Yeah.
This is how you. This is your therapy.
Yeah. What's the difference between an orphan and a used car?
What?
Someone wants a used car.
Okay. You were adopted by rich white people.
No, I'm fine.
With a house on a volcano.
Very interesting. Yeah, I had a very interesting childhood. Very odd.
That's it.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty
Leave
cool
it at
childhood. It was a pretty cool childhood. I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually,
You got a hot tub.
It was pretty, yeah, there was a hot tub. There was lots of hot tubs. Actually, there's multiple
Eventually,
hot tubs.
you had to go through a couple of circles of hell before you got there.
Bit.
But play it. Play it.
So we talked about that. Yeah. Oh, I watched. Have you ever seen Japanese baseball?
Oh yeah.
You know, actually, you know what we know what we didn't do, Aaron?
What?
It's been like, we're only like 28 minutes into this. We've never done an actual official open.
I know. That's what I thought you were doing.
Yeah, you
want
to do that?
Play it. Yeah.
Oh. No, I was just
You
talking.
just forgot?
I just realized, I'm like, aren't we supposed to be
That's
doing
pretty cool.
something? But talking about football, this actually has something kind of to do with football.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the
Cool.
this is like the official opening.
Oh, yeah! Fucking head! Fuck you! Fuck you, Pittsburgh! Seriously, dude! Fuck this shit, bro! You know let fucking Baker Mayfield do this shit to you, bro? What the fuck? Go 11-0! 11-0 when you fucking do this shit! Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking piece of shit! Fuck!
Show with your hosts, Aaron and John Rouse. So, Aaron, my question is to you: like, why did you get so upset? Why were you so upset there?
That did remind me of that picture you took of me when we were in Omaha after I woke up and I was like eating pizza without a shirt on or whatever, and you like took a picture and your face was like, and my stomach was just like hanging over my body. I was just like, I was hungover and just fucked. Good times, man. That was great. No, I love seeing. I love videos of like happy fans, right? But I also love videos of immature, sad people who hinge their entire lives on one team.
Mm-hmm. You let Baker Mayfield just do, bro.
The Browns are good.
Yeah, they're decent. They're decent this year.
Pittsburgh shit the bed down towards the end for sure.
They lost the last 5 games.
They fucking blew it. Yeah, monumental. Mike Tomlin's gonna keep his job, but he shouldn't.
But this is the only he always has a winning season though.
Every time. That doesn't matter though. You know, it's usually fucking
True.
Coaches get fired for
lesser shit. The Eagles coach
Doug Peterson got fired.
You know why he did that?
Carson Wentz wanted him to get fired.
That too. But he went in there and he was like, they're like, you know what, we don't want to fire you.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, we just feel like you need to bring someone else in. Like, we're going to bring someone else in, help you and get a new set of eyes. And he's like, I don't want that. Mm-hmm. This is my way or the highway.
They knew that he was going to quit.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we're going to fire you. He's like, well, fuck off.
Yeah.
And he just.
Yeah, that's a good way to get around firing somebody is tell them that you're going to bring in your own consultant to help. No,
yeah, because most men won't like that. Like, what? Like, fuck off. And
yeah, I mean, it does make sense it's the same as like why every time there's a new president, everybody else gets the fuck out because you have your own guys that you trust and believe in. Yeah, but I mean, it's quite a monumental fall since they won a Super Bowl.
Right.
They've really not been anything special in the playoffs, at least. Carson Wentz isn't that good.
No.
He's fine, but he's not like.
Hurts is okay.
Hurts,
I think he's gonna be decent.
Yeah,
he's
what he
is.
He's
a second round. He's a second round quarterback. What do you expect?
I'm surprised they kept Wentz. I thought they were gonna get rid of him and keep Peterson.
His contract's too big.
Because it's like would trade for him.
I think it's like I want to say it's like 20 million against the cap next year or something like that. He's
I forgot he signed
56.
that. Yeah, he signed that huge deal after he got hurt.
No,
like
maybe it's 56.
The season after he got hurt.
He's supposed to make 56 if he stays, but if he goes, the $64 million cap hit
for the next 2 years.
It's stupid. It's a stupid amount of money that you're like, you might as well just keep the cunt for another year.
Yeah, that's wild. I wonder what Doug Peterson's going to do.
I heard he's going to be the offensive coordinator for Alabama.
He's going to college?
Yeah, he's going to college.
He could get a fucking job in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but Alabama. What's so great about the Alabama job is the fact that like Alabama's coaching staff is all once head coaches, and so they go there, win a national championship. People are like, "Well, you're on a national championship team."
Yeah.
Some fucking Joe Schmo gets fired from fucking Detroit. Boom.
True.
You're in Detroit.
Yeah.
That's how it always works.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Fucking.
It's kind of crazy, you know.
It was Cleveland before. Now it's.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be there for a while.
For 2 seasons. Yeah.
And he might actually win more than 3 games at one time.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Fucking Hugh Jackson, poor guy. I feel so bad for him. He's such a great guy, and he's a really good.
Yeah.
He's a good assistant. He's a good assistant coach, but you're not a good head coach at all.
Cleveland was a fucking curse.
And granted, you're going to Cleveland,
had,
which is sad too because it's such a rich historical franchise with a lot of championships.
You had Manziel, Brandon Whedon, Hoyer,
Couch.
Tim Couch to start it all off. He took them to the playoffs.
True.
They had a winning season, and they almost beat the Steelers in 2000. And then
the man with the last name of a thing that you have in your living room.
Dr. Furniture. Yeah, like that's the lack of stability is obviously like it. They finally stuck with somebody like Mayfield and actually let him figure out how to do shit. And then
Right.
lo and behold, he has a decent season, like better than not fucking unbelievable.
He's
But he's still, like,
he's a game
26,
manager. He's
yeah.
a game manager, but like that's what as the Browns, like you've had nothing but dumpster fires.
Yeah.
So this is
11-5 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll take it. I was looking up Aaron Rodgers' numbers today because I do that every now and then just because he's really. I love quarterbacks who have 400 touchdowns and under 100 interceptions because I think he's the only one. It's
Yeah.
really crazy how accurate he is and good at throwing footballs he is. I love it. I love looking at that shit. He's really an impressive quarterback.
probably will be MVP of this
He
year.
should be 48 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
You'd think.
Like 6 interceptions. The ratio there is
It's
fucking
insane.
nuts. It's like
Insane.
what 4-1 or what is no? It's like 8 to
It's
1.
8-1.
It's nuts.
Mar.
Love it. Great guy.
Then,
I'll marry him. I don't care.
and then we have Jared Goff, who has a broken thumb,
Yeah.
who got benched. Everyone, just for the record, he was benched because he was activated on the active roster, and McVay still did not want to play him.
With a broken thumb.
Yes,
He couldn't throw. I saw the beginning of that game, and I saw the quarterback that replaced him come out. I was like, who the fuck is that guy? He looked like a guy they just found on a couch.
Wolford.
Wofford, yeah, whatever. Wolford.
Wolford.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got his head. He got bopped in the
Yeah,
head.
then he got hurt. And Goff's got to go in with a thumb twice the size of his other thumb.
Yeah, he has 3 pins in it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would have just thrown left-handed. It wouldn't be good, but we just throw a bunch of 5-yard outs and screens and shit. That's what they do anyway. It's not like he's a fucking bomber.
Yeah, they don't.
Alabama won, right?
Yeah, Alabama.
I hadn't
won.
really paid any attention to college football because honestly, I'd forgot it.
I don't think anyone
Wasn't
does
around.
because everyone's like, "Oh, who won it? Alabama." Not surprised.
Yeah.
Because we know what's so funny is that in the national championship game they'll be beating a team like they were last night, and they'll have someone like Derrick Henry who is their running back.
Yeah.
But then like right behind him is someone else who's just
Someone
as
who's
big.
gonna be as good. Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, you think you're done? Well, look who you're going to play next year. You're going to play this guy next year.
Yeah. I mean, they had Henry, Trent Richardson,
Ingram.
Yeah,
because it went from Ingram to Henry because there's that picture when Ingram was on the field and Henry was in full.
Oh, really?
I'll find out.
No, it wasn't that. Ingram's been in the league for like 10 years. How long has Henry been in the league?
This was his 5th year.
Oh, fuck. Maybe,
4th
yeah.
or 5th
Shit.
year.
Their receiver won the Heisman, right?
The wide receiver won it for Alabama.
Yeah. Receivers never win a Heisman. That's crazy.
This picture right here.
I guess I hadn't paid much attention to football to really, because around when Ingram had won the Heisman.
This one.
Oh, okay, God, he's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, look how big Henry is. Ingram was playing in the league and was like, Ingram's
Yeah.
still good, but this was like in his prime within
Yeah.
his 2nd year in the league, and he's like, good fucking
I think he was only,
Jesus.
5'9", right?
Yeah, he's 5'9",
He's like
and then
6'4".
Henry is 6'4", like I want to say
like 260.
260, but I want to say that, but it's ridiculous. Maybe it's
Yeah.
like 245, but no, maybe 250. 250, because the thing is, like, he's so fucking massive that it's not
Enormous.
shocking.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I
He's
mean,
so
Ingram's
fucking
pretty big
huge.
too, but shit. My God. Yeah, man, Alabama's just a fucking football factory. The SEC is cheating. They've been just cheating. It's crazy that Ohio State got into the top 4.
I know, with only
I
playing 6
I
games
think
this
that's
season.
kind of fucking fucked up,
I know, but they won. That's the thing. Is
Sure.
like they won.
Fine.
Granted, like
They played the Big Ten.
Alabama went pretty much a whole season. They only
Yeah, and they played in the hardest
Yeah.
conference ever. Every year, it's the
Yeah.
hardest conference ever.
yeah, but it really is. It's all like SEC schools,
Yeah.
and then like there's a sprinkling of Big 12, like not Big 12, but Big 10,
Mm-hmm.
and like a Pac-12 school. Like there'll be like 1 or 2
Like
Pac-12
South
schools.
Carolina Tech or some shit like
Yeah.
that.
Like
And then they'll play
when
Missouri
USC is
and
really
Vanderbilt.
good, it's good for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Or if like UCLA is really good, which
Washington State.
yeah, Washington State or Oregon
Oh
State.
yeah, I forgot about Oregon.
Oh, Oregon, not
Oregon's
Oregon
always
State.
good.
I guess Oregon State is part of it too. The Beavers.
Justin Herbert.
The Beavers.
The Beavs.
Yeah, Oregon State Beavers.
No, I don't know. I still like the idea of football, but I don't pay attention to it.
Oh,
really
I love
anymore.
football so much. I follow it too much.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I haven't been paying much attention to sports recently, obviously, because none going on that I care for. But hockey came back tonight. Which I'm
Hockey
excited
is
to
tonight.
also
yeah,
not watch.
Boston Bruins versus the Philadelphia Flyers. I
Mhm.
believe that's who's. See, sports. I know it's my shit.
You know the hockey team in Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that
Look at
shit. I
you.
know it. I know it.
Look at you go, bud. No,
Be
those
impressed.
I have a Bruins jersey. It's pretty cool.
Nice. A player or is it?
No, I don't like the ones with numbers on them for some reason.
Yeah,
I like the blank backs.
my
They're
thi-
cheaper too.
My thing is like if I get one of those things, I'm gonna get it with my name on it. I don't like having someone else's
I
name
don't
on.
like that either, because then you're like, oh, who's Naylor? Like I'm him.
Yeah. Well, I like this team so much that I'm willing. I want to be part of it like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I may have done that with like a Royals jersey in the past, but I think that's tacky.
You're tacky,
Yeah, I know. I own 5 hockey jerseys.
fucking turd.
I am tacky. I've got an old Atlanta Thrashers jersey. They're in Winnipeg now. They're not the Thrashers anymore. They're the Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah. They were a team before, and then Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
moved to Winnipeg and then made them the Jets again, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Winnipeg Jets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like thinking
Hockey's really cool. I think I'll start watching that. We have DirecTV in the apartment, and I think we have NHL Network, but I don't know. So I might
hell yeah, bro.
start getting into that shit. You were going to talk about Japanese baseball.
Japanese football.
Oh, I saw it. So on my recommended videos on YouTube,
Yeah,
it
'cause
was
the Super
the
Bowl.
championship.
The championship
of it. And
was
I know
just-
it was like 2.5 hours, so I didn't watch it. But did you watch it?
I watched some of it. Yeah.
How was it?
It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they do anything differently?
I mean, I guess I can show you a little bit of it.
Do it.
Yeah. I just can't show anybody.
Let's get copywritten.
Well, as long as I just show you and I don't
That's
show,
true. Yeah.
it's fine. And then I don't want the rules. I just want Japanese football.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll be happy with the free publicity. What's the league called? Japanese Football League? Just
Yeah.
the JFL? JFL.
It's just
Oh.
American Football League because
Oh.
there's also soccer.
Japanese American Football League?
Yeah.
JAFL?
Yeah. JAFL.
Oh, all right. Only Japanese American people can play in it.
Yes.
That'd be funny. Huh? Anybody? You think that's funny? Shit. What are the team names? That'd be cool as hell to like, because like NFL Europe used to be a thing and it's not around anymore, but I'm sure there's so many fucking just like kind of minor leagues. Oh, he threw it like sidearm.
Yeah, they
wow.
It's like baseball.
They do it in baseball too. That's crazy, man.
And then like every once in a while you'll see like a black guy and you're like, huh.
That's like baseball in Korea and Japan is like every now and then you'll see a white guy or like a Dominican player that like, cause I'll recognize him. I've seen him before, but dude, they'll go to like the baseball players, at least they'll go to Japan and Korea and just put up fucking bonkers numbers. Like, cause it's AA baseball basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll like hit
Well,
50 home runs. And
This
shit.
is like minor league football.
It is. Well, yeah, because I mean, obviously the competition here is so much higher than that. But yeah, I wonder. I'm surprised that football doesn't have like a minor league system, because that's what NFL Europe was the minor leagues.
Yeah. I don't understand either. Like it would make more money, dude.
It would make so like that's the development thing in football is a big problem, and that's why teams give up on quarterbacks 2 years in without having played 10 games or whatever. You have to develop these guys. You can't just like keep fucking funneling in coaches and different schemes and all this shit and expect this 22-year-old to be okay with it. This is not how it works.
What 22-year-old has ever been able to
Unless
run a
they're
company?
just like exactly, and they're not like.
Is this what they're
fucking-
doing? They're running a company.
Yeah, and they're not like, and that's why I think Aaron Rodgers ended up so well. So
Because he sat a
because
couple
he sat
years.
for 3 years, 3 seasons, dude. Basically every season, the whole whole
like
thing.
Patrick Mahomes got to sit
Yeah.
for a season.
Alex Smith is no Brett Favre, but I'm sure Alex Smith was nicer to Mahomes than Favre was.
Favre was,
because Favre didn't want to fucking
No,
get
because
replaced.
they drafted him when he was still in his prime.
He wasn't in his prime, but he was still like he thought he was in his prime. He's like 36. He was old. He was on his way
well,
out.
it's the
for
same
sure.
way that what they did with Rodgers this year. They drafted last year they
Yeah.
drafted Love.
And he hated it.
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck you! I'm going to
Then
put all
he
these
threw
numbers."
50 touchdowns. Had the best season, probably, arguably, of all time. Yeah, dude. I think it's a real missed opportunity for the NFL, especially since they have a fucking salary cap and they make buco fucking money. They have all this money that they could use for development and stuff like that, and make the game better. Also, like education for the football players and how to play the game right, because they change the fucking rules every goddamn year. You can't hit anybody hard. They should be fucking telling them how to do that shit.
Well, you just can't hit him in the head.
Yeah, I know. The good. You shouldn't hit them in the head.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't want to hit someone in the head.
They need to be, because college isn't gonna. College is the minor leagues for the NFL, but that's not good because they're not getting any money.
Mm-hmm. True.
You're exploiting the college as the minor leagues,
Right.
because the NFL is making more money. It's all making sense, but I don't want it to make sense because what's his face? The commissioner of the NFL is a fucking piece of shit.
Hey, you shut your mouth.
What's his name?
Roger Goodell is
Goodell.
a nice guy.
More like Roger Badell.
You need to stop being so mean, Aaron.
Am I right? Yeah, I think the NFL's got a. Even the NBA has the D League.
Yeah,
It's not perfect.
The G League now. It's
G
the
League,
G League
sorry,
now.
yeah, the Gatorade
Or it was the
League.
D League. Well, I think
Yeah.
they might have the D League and the G League.
I thought they changed the name from D
They
to
might
G
have
'cause
changed it,
Gatorade
yeah.
like bought it.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So weird when it. I saw it when it came out. It's like, yeah, it's the G League now.
Naturally, we called it
This is-
Gatorade, Aaron.
We call it the Gatorade League.
Yeah, naturally, we call it Gatorade. I don't know what you
Yeah,
call
they've
it.
got the Gatorade League and the
I don't-
Powerade League,
I don't know what you call it.
and then 50 Cent started the Vitamin Water League.
And then Bubbly's about to start their league.
At least the B League,
Yeah.
it's better than the G League. Almost up to the A League.
Mm-hmm.
LaCroix's got the L League.
Those were all the foreigners, bud.
Whoa. Good Lord. All the French.
Yeah, the French foreigners.
Who is oh God, who is the guy from San Antonio who was French?
Uh,
Son of a bitch. He married Ava Longoria.
yeah.
Fuck.
Parker.
Yep. Tony Parker.
Tony Parker.
Who's the other guy? Not Tim Duncan.
Ginobili.
Manu Ginobili. Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
We know sports. We got sports.
Come here and listen to us talk about
We're a
it.
sports podcast.
We talk about anything and everything in our podcast.
So much politics, family.
People are like, I am just so tired of all these other podcasts. I need a podcast that just talks about anything and everything. Well, guys, we have one for you.
Here's a curveball. I have about 50,000 baseball cards in my apartment right now. And if anybody would like to come and see them or just buy them for like a lump sum of money, let me know. Because
What if this is how you start your baseball card
my dynasty
museum?
Ooh, yeah. The problem with that is that my uncle, whose cards he gave me all of his cards, he only collected them mostly in the 80s. There's some from the 70s, but they span mostly the 80s and very early 90s. So it's a lot of the cokeheads that bled into the steroid
Right.
users. But then the ones in the 70s were all on greenies. So it's just this never-ending,
Circle.
you
of
know,
stuff.
it's a line, honestly. It's just a fucking timeline of drugs. Which is cool. You got to take drugs to play sports. 162 games in 6 months? Come on. That's
It's so
insane.
funny. Like, it's so funny. It's like I look at like Patrick Mahomes and all these things. I'm like, dude, these guys are probably on roids. Like, there's some point of like some sort of roids that they're on. I just assume.
It's not as rampant in football, I don't think. That or they just don't take it as seriously.
Probably the latter. Probably the second.
Knowing Goodell, I feel like he would just kind of brush it under the rug like the commissioner of baseball did in the 90s because it was saving baseball. But most of the guys who play football though have been lifting weights most of their lives. Baseball is not as much. There are people in baseball specifically who don't lift weights at all. Mostly pitchers don't. A lot of smaller shortstops who are just like light hitting shortstops. They don't lift a lot of weights. They just play baseball. 'Cause you can play baseball wherever you want, basically. So they don't lift. Like Bo Jackson really introduced baseball to weights.
Yeah.
Like in a major way.
Because he played football.
Because he was already really big and strong.
He was fucking huge.
Yeah.
He would take baseball bats and break them over his leg.
For sure. He would take human legs and eat them.
He did that too. I watched it once.
Yeah, he invited you over to his house.
Like, John, you want to see something really cool? I can also out juke a defensive end.
Juke you. Let me juke you, John. John, let me juke you.
What does that mean? Let me show you.
I'll show you. I'm Bo Jackson.
I'm Bo Jackson.
But yeah, they're already like
I'll keep the light on for you.
Football play. Yeah, he's like the spokesperson for Motel 6. Man, it would be cool as hell if we got this podcast sponsored by Motel 6. I love Motel 6.
And we'll leave the light on for you guys. No problem.
That was the last place I stayed before I came back for my tour, right before COVID ruined an entire country.
The entire world.
I stayed at a Motel 6 in the middle of a ice storm in Kansas. Loved it.
Do you ever wonder what we would be like right now if 2020 was just a normal year and
you wouldn't even notice? Trump would have won, probably.
Probably. Yeah. But you would have been a full-blown comedian.
I'd probably still be working.
Well, yeah, but you're
yeah.
going on tour all the time. You're always has shows.
Yeah.
I'd be traveling all the time.
Yeah.
For my film stuff. I think about that every once in a while. I'm like, we'd be kind of killing it in a weird way.
I try not to think about stuff like that because one, it doesn't do me any good.
True.
But because it would be cool. I did have shit lined up until May, I think. And then some stuff sprinkled in here and there, but I try not to think too I said earlier that my head's not in the clouds as much, but I'm kind of making sure that it is more. Not because of last year sucked, but because the past 4 years have sucked. As from a news point of view. I'm just okay, well, just be oblivious and it's fun. Don't be emotional.
We're about to
very unemotional.
We're about to enter a new world.
We are a world we've been
next
to
week?
before.
Is it next week?
Yeah. You think anything's gonna happen at inauguration?
I don't know, but apparently there's gonna be a lot of fucking cops there.
Yeah. They were talking about fucking rioters at all the state capitals for some fucking reason. Think people are gonna go to fucking Jeff City?
I mean, y'all
Capitol?
motherfuckers have too much fucking time. That's what I'll be saying.
Yeah, go to work.
Do something else.
Jesus Christ!
It's this dude is not that
Hug
big
your
of a deal.
kids.
Yeah,
yeah. You're demagoguing Trump. You're not supposed to love politicians. You're not supposed to idolize these people. They work for you. Yeah. Don't fucking jerk them off.
But this guy.
He demands it though. It worked.
But it was nice seeing that his account got suspended on Twitter.
Every single one of his accounts. That's so
boom,
funny.
boom, boom, boom.
They took him off of Pinterest. They banned him on Pinterest.
What
was he gonna do? Put together a fucking collage?
We're not gonna even try.
We're collage of weapons to bring to the Capitol.
We are not even gonna test it. That's what they were like.
Yeah.
We're like, everyone else in favor? All right, we're all doing it now, and they all just pushed the button. They all they all touched hands, but they all had gloves on, and then pushed the button.
Unity. All the richest people in the world were like, we gotta get this guy out of here. Finally, it's not like it didn't fucking take him 4 years already. Over 4 years.
It's almost like a movie, though, if you really want to look at it, though. Like, the whole, like, rise, the climax,
yeah.
and now, like, the complete downfall of a character.
It works out that way.
It's like,
Eventually, the people that you're fucking over kind of get an idea of it or are tired of you doing it.
see, this is what I mean, though. In 10 years, like, what are we going to look at him? Are we going to love him again? Because, like...
He'll be dead. He'll be like 90.
True.
And the way that he eats, he's not going to be alive.
Any chance that he had of running again,
It's going to be
it
the
was never
same.
going to, yeah.
It's not going to be the same with like people like Bush or Reagan, because Reagan was like, I feel like Reagan really opened the floodgates for people like Trump, because like he faked a lot of the shit. Him and Nancy weren't really religious before they went to the White House. They were spiritual. They did fucking yoga and like meditated and shit. They were California old rich hippies basically. Yeah. And then the people of the Republicans were like, we can fucking sell you guys as like this fucking like evangelical couple.
And you're an actor.
And we can just tell Nancy to say no a bunch. That was the first bad, one of the first bad things that they did was like.
Yeah, my parents love Reagan.
Of course they did.
And I'm like, dude, he was an actor.
He's a god, man.
Yeah, like
he did so many bad things.
Yeah.
Trickle down? Come on. Trickle down economics never was going to work. Ever. We'll cut the taxes for the rich people because they're going to spend it, and then more people will get more money. They don't do that.
No.
They hoard it.
That's how they became...
offshore accounts. Yeah. That's how all this shit now is happening. That's how you get people like Trump, who's got a lot of money. People like Bezos, who's fucking richer than God. Elon Musk, who couldn't care less about working class people, but makes rockets, so he's cool. And cars that are nice. Like, it's all a fucking front so that they can just move all this money all around in like offshore accounts in countries that have no regulations on taxes and dodge it. They don't pay any fucking income taxes. So even if they were doing the bare minimum, paying taxes on money they made, you're not going to get anything trickling down. It never worked, and it never was going to work because most rich people suck.
Fuck.
Including Ronald Reagan.
Especially Ronald Reagan. And you hear it here first.
He deserved Parkinson's. What was it, Parkinson's? It wasn't Parkinson's. It was...
That was dementia.
Yeah. It wasn't the shakes. It was the...
It was the
it
what?
was the mistakes.
Yeah.
It was the brain mistakes.
God.
Ronald Reagan
Your
sucked.
computer just starts deleting all your files.
Well,
sorry.
That's what your brain does when you get dementia.
Yeah.
Control-Alt-Delete.
All control delete.
Yeah, man, I don't know. We need more 45-year-old poor people to be presidents.
More Nancy Pelosi's. I
No,
think.
she stinks, dude. She sucks. She's rich. She's a bad person.
This podcast was sponsored by her.
Fuck. Sponsored by her company.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The things that Aaron says, Aaron's beliefs do not reflect
Thank you.
the written consent of Major League Baseball. Please remember that, guys.
Please remember that, guys.
So, Aaron,
It's been a good week, yeah.
it's been a pretty chill week, actually.
Pretty chill.
Like,
calm.
nothing crazy's happened, really.
3 months sober.
Congratulations. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Gonna drink a beer tonight?
No.
No.
Nothing. It sounds so... Because I'm trying not to, like, eat anything after a certain time every night. So, like, the worst thing I would do when I was doing shit like that was drinking a bunch of beers. So it's like 1,000 calories. I gotta fucking do that. I just feel like shit.
No mas.
That sucks.
No mas.
It's not even, like, tempting.
Good.
Sometimes it sounds like a good idea, but
You're like,
there's so much that comes with it. So much burden when I'm, like, done. I'm like, oh, well, that didn't change my life completely. So
Yeah.
why did I do that?
Right.
It's stupid.
That's true.
It's fine with other people, but not for me.
Right.
Until I get back onto it.
Which will probably right after this podcast.
It'll happen. I'm a weak person, and I, peaks
Nothing's
and
wrong.
valleys.
You can do things in moderation. It's
Sure.
good to take a break. You take a break, you go back on, and then
Mhm.
you take a break again.
Yeah.
So many deal. It's life. That's what
It's
you should do. If anything, I should probably take another break from pot. It's been a quick minute since I've taken a break from pot.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had that problem, but
It's not like I have a problem with pot.
Yeah,
don't.
I know,
It's not
exactly.
I'm
That's
not
a good problem to have.
I'm not sucking dick for pot, or I'm not like
You can
selling all my stuff away.
Get your green card.
I should, but I can't have guns.
Really?
I think so.
You want a gun?
Hunt.
Get a Costco. Costco. Did you call me
Get
Hunt?
a Costco.
Go to Costco.
Yeah.
Get a crossbow at
John.
Costco.
Yeah, get a crossbow at Costco, John. Everyone knows this.
I mean, I don't blame you, but I don't know. I don't trust myself with a gun. I feel like I would fuck it up and shoot something accidentally.
But I figure if I like live here, but keep it in a room like in here, and I never really go in there.
Yeah. You can just order a gun online.
Mm-hmm.
My brother did it and got it sent to my parents' house.
And then he got in trouble for that, right? Because he's a felon.
Yeah, well, not for that, but he stole somebody's identity to buy the gun, so it's a double whammy. But I don't think anybody told on him for that. So there's a lot of shit that he's done that nobody knows about. Nobody important. I gotta check his case net again and see what the latest charges are.
Oh, you go into you go and
Yeah, you can look him up. He's the only nailer that I know of, unless I got like my speeding tickets from 10 years ago. But
talking about that, we never talked about the guy who's facing felony charges that we went to high school with.
Oh yeah,
We never talked about him on the podcast.
Woof.
So this guy we went to high school with, he was my grade, and he was actually a pretty decent friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it so shitty to me, I feel.
Sure.
But he ended up becoming a teacher, football coach, was coaching at one school, a pretty prestigious like 6A school in the state of Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Was a contention, like it was in a contender for state championships. He got into a fight with one of the kids because the kid called him a pussy, I think. Like one of the linemen called him a pussy, and so he like raged down on him.
Fragile masculinity is insane.
Yeah. And then he had to resign from that school, went to another school, won a state championship with that school. And then during the time, which is so stupid to begin with, he was friends with students on Snapchat, and those students were sending him snaps, and one of the kids sent him a snap, because that's what it is, a kid.
Yeah. 15-year-old, right?
16-year-old, not much better.
Not much difference.
And she sent him a picture of like her kissing and like doing a peace sign, and he said like, "What, you don't know what is that mouth did?" And like, you don't know what to do with that mouth. And then he sent a picture of his dick and was like, you should send pictures back. And she was like, no.
Of her dick?
Yeah, of her dick. And she was like, no. And then she reported him. And then comes to find out there's another girl that he was doing that with as well. Which these are only the ones that we know about. Because when there's smoke, there's fire. Because
there's dick pics.
Yeah, there's a lot of dick pics.
There's dick pics sent to teenagers. And he's 31.
Yeah. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I sent that to him, but like you already knew before I sent it to you.
Yeah, because Logan started a group chat with Tim and Matt and I.
Yeah, because
was like
everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone in everyone that we went to high school with was like, "Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this, John?"
That shit is insane.
And everyone, and then people were posting it online and just smearing him, which he should be smeared because that's what happens.
Yeah.
And you know what the shittiest thing? Like, he's married.
Mm-hmm. Has a kid.
He has a kid.
He has two kids.
He has
right?
2 kids. Yeah. One that he doesn't acknowledge, but was
the writing's on
surprising,
the wall.
right? Yeah,
with
surprising with this piece of shit. And the biggest thing is like he has like he just graduated with his master's degree, like
in
maybe a year ago, like a year and a half ago. So like you worked so hard to get a master's degree for the fact that you're not going to be able to ever use it now.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be a felon. You're going to be a felon.
You're
dude.
a sex offender.
No one's going to hire you for that.
No, not for any of that. Those kinds of things. You're going to have to do like fucking like call center shit or something like really entry level that isn't going to make money.
Sell a car. Sell cars.
Going to have to fucking start mowing lawns.
It sucks, man.
Sucks for his family, but whatever.
Yeah. It sucks for the kids, too. It sucks for the kids that see his penis.
Yeah.
Because what they are as kids.
Crazy. They're children.
Aaron, that's a great thing to end on. Don't you think? It's an hour and 4 minutes into this podcast. I think that's a great place to end.
If you're a teenager, first of all, don't watch this. But also, don't add your teachers on Snapchat and don't let them add you.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And gross.
And then do the right thing and report them if they send you a dick pic.
Yeah, that was a smooth move by her.
That was a real good move.
Good call.
Good for her.
He didn't think these teenagers were that smart.
He probably thought he had some
power.
He has some power, and so they would be like, "Oh my god, this older gentleman sent me a picture of his dick."
Older gentleman.
Which I'm sure she said gentleman.
Probably, yeah.
Exact
Jesus.
words.
Yeah, good way to end it.
Yeah.
Don't send dick pics anyway.
Yeah. So, Aaron, do you have any plugs? Or
Listen to Bitchin' Through Time on Spotify, Apple, whatever the fuck. Comes out every weekday in the morning. Cool Baby Podcast. Dayton currently has COVID, so we'll be back in a couple weeks probably. Go on my Patreon.
Can I be your guy? Can I be your guest on?
Yeah, if we do want to do it next week.
On Hot Baby.
Hot Baby, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hot Baby Stool podcast.
What the fuck? Are you in Miles's? Oh, fuck. Oh no. My nephew's name is Miles. Do you have my nephew's iPad? Anyway, so
No.
What else? Every Friday I host the Zoom comedy show called Inside Voices. There's $5 if you want to see the show for free. Just hit me up. It's on assemble.com. Not the show, but you can buy tickets on Assemble if you want to support us. Patreon, I have a Patreon if you want to support that. I'll be posting different shit on that, videos and me talking about jokes that I wrote 8 years ago, and it's gonna be fun. John,
like, comment, and subscribe. Still haven't done anything on putting anything on iTunes or anything like that.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
It's a process.
Check out Aaron's Cool Baby podcast. I produce that. Check out my solo podcast. That comes out every Tuesday. This comes out every Thursday. Cool Baby comes out all over the place. Kind of.
Monday.
Monday?
I don't really know.
Tuesday?
Maybe it is Tuesday. Whenever I upload it.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I don't know.
We get it done.
Yeah, it's on.
Mm-hmm. But
Wish Dayton well.
Mm-hmm.
Fly away, sweet bird.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.